next. Thank you, next. Thank you, next. I'm so grateful for my stalker. Thank you, next, next. Thank you, next, next. Thank you, next. I'm so. Spend more time with my friends. I ain't worried about nothing. Plus I met someone else. We haven't met. This is see if she's the type of person who like knows something and she'll try to like spread it around school. What are you making fun of her for? Like, she literally has nothing to do with this, and she just got mad at me because I called her out or whatever. So she's like trying to make fun of this girl for some reason. Okay, so today's Mother's Day. I feel like this is a little bright. Okay, I'll just leave you guys there. I'm just like so done with this story. Like, I'm just doing this because a lot of people asked me what happened, and there's not really like a short summary to this story, so I'm doing a story time on my channel. So hold up. Okay, so here's the story. So it's Wednesday night. This was last week. Wait, I think last week. It was either like 2 weeks ago because it's this week, so I think it was last week or whatever. But it's Wednesday night. I'm just minding my own business on YouTube. It's like around 8 o'clock, and I see that there's this page on Instagram, and it's called Savannah Mallory fan page, and it says, I'm just a fan account, go follow at Savannah Mallory 05. So I don't really think anything of the account. I'm just like, oh, someone made an account about me. And that would be pretty normal since I have a YouTube channel, so I didn't really think anything of it. I was just like, oh, something nice. But my parents, they see it and they're like, that's a little bit weird, because like I don't really have that many subscribers, and like someone would have to be a really big fan to like dedicate a whole page to me. But like I was flattered. Okay, I'm like, ooh, open up. But the thing is, like, they have like 1 or 2 followers. So the first thing I like asked my friends, I'm like, did any of you guys make a fan account about me on Instagram? And they're like, what? No, really? I'm like, yeah, I'm not joking. And then I like send them a screenshot of the account, and they're like, oh, that's weird. So then the second person I think of, I'm not gonna say her name, but let's call her Miss should we call her Miss Puff? I feel like we should call her Miss Puff or Squidward. Let's call her Miss Puff. Okay, so they all say, no, that's weird. So second of all, I'm like, who do I think this could be? So I think of Miss Puff. So I ask her, and hold on, I'm gonna read you guys exactly like what she said. Okay, so I had to like screen record the conversation because it didn't like show up on here. But basically, I asked Miss Puff, I'm like, did you make a fan account about me? And she says, what the frick? No. What happened? I'm like, bruh, someone made a fan page for me. I'm not sure if it's real or not, or if someone just made it as a joke. So I sent her like a screenshot of it or whatever. And basically, she's like, why do you think it's me? Do you really want the answer to that? Because I had I have history with this little girl. I have mixed feelings about her. Would I consider her my friend? No, because just the way she acts, it's so hard to explain. It's like weird. Like, she's desperate for like drama and attention. She's like a clout chaser. I don't know why. And like, I try to be nice to her and stuff. Like, I don't like be rude to her unless she's doing something that's like really ticking me off. So like, I will call, like, if you mess with me, I will call you out. Okay, period. So then she's like, what's the account name? I sent her that. Then she said I requested it. And then she's like, who do you think it is? I like said who, but like I already know it's not him. And then she's like, I only have 2 accounts because it seems like you don't believe me and blah blah blah. And like, It's so weird. And then like the thing is, she said like like my friends, they were like investigating it for me because I didn't want to message the account because I don't know, like I didn't know if it was like a creepy old man trying to like, you know, mess with the girl. So I'm like, hey, spies. So they like whoop slide in the DMs and they're like, who are you? And for the same exact like the same response, they're like, I don't know. Wait, let me find it. They're like, wait, let me see. Because I'm not trying to like say false things and like get attacked for it. But they're like, who are you? And then they kept saying a person. So for like, they kept saying a person, they would ask nicely. But then for Jessica, she said, she's like, are you Miss Puff? And the person's like, ew, the girl who sent blank to blank. I'm not gonna say what. You're gonna have to figure that out because that's, my channel is PG, okay? So we're just not gonna say that. So only people who know about that are like kids. This is like really confusing because we're like, wait, so there's no way this can be Miss Puff because she wouldn't say something like that about her. So we're like, okay, are you blah blah blah? And they're like, no. And then that's just like what happened or whatever. So basically once me and my friends were like, okay, this definitely isn't Miss Puff. Because why would she say something about that? Because like whenever people mention that to her, she like gets uncomfortable and weird about it. But like it's kind of her problem because like why'd you send those? Okay, honestly. But I like tell her, I'm like, okay, Jessica DM them, and they said, well, I said Jessica DM them or something, and she's like, what did they say? And I'm like, they kind of said something rude about you, so I don't know if you want to see it. And she's like, please, I want to see it. I'm like, are you sure? And she's like, yeah, I'm really sure. And then I'm like, are you really, really, really sure? And she's like, what, did they say something mean about me? I'm like, yeah. So I screen recorded. I sent her the screen recording Jessica sent in the group chat, like my friend group chat, because we were all trying to like figure out who did this, because the account was really sus. Before it was like available and then it was private. But, like, if you're gonna have a fan account, why is it private? That's just like a little odd and weird. Okay, so she like DMs the account and then she's like, why'd you say that, blah blah blah, you're so rude. And then hold up, this is like really hard to do because I have to like go back and forth between these things. Okay. So she said, who the blank are you? You're so rude. Why are you doing this? Also, are you like obsessed with Savannah? Because you're kind of weird for making a fan page. So it's not weird to make a fan page if you're not being creepy about it. Like if you're like promoting me and like telling people like subscribe, follow. Okay, that's cool. But like this is just really weird. It was like really odd. I'm like, who has the time to do all this? Because it's so like weird. And how do they know who like my friends are and stuff? Because they like tagged my friends and like they like tagged my friends and like post, and they like put like their @ names, but they put like their private accounts. Like for Jasmine, they put like one for private accounts, but that's for like close friends and stuff. And it was just really weird. So I'm like, okay. So after all of this, it's like the next day, and we're doing this thing like in the computer lab for historical figure day. This is like what we do at our school. So we were in the computer lab doing stuff. So the next day, Miss Puff and one of my friends, Taylor, I'm like talking about this with like Zoe as well, and we're all like, who made that account? It's so weird, blah blah blah. And we're like discussing like who we think it was. So like as the days went on, like the whole week, Miss Puff, she was just like bringing it up out of nowhere, and like we weren't even talking about it and stuff. So it kind of made me a little suspicious, like, why she is so obsessed with this situation. And, like, she wasn't even involved in this. The only thing I said to her really was, like, did you make this account or whatever? And she says no. So it's like she's trying to include herself in this situation to, like, become closer with me and my friends for some reason. So I'm just like, okay, that's a bit weird. But I don't really think it's her. Like, I still have that little thought in my mind. I'm like, there's still a possibility that it could be her. Because, like, if I ask her, she could have lied, okay? So, nothing happens after this, like, day or whatever. So, Wednesday's fine. And then, yeah, Wednesday, like, after school that day, I think this was Thursday when this happened. So I'm just like mind my own business. So then my friends, they like message me and they're like, did you see this? And basically, I'm gonna put this stuff on the screen too or whatever so that you can see, because I'm not lying, I have proof. So first of all, the fan account, they like post a story. Well, first of all, no, actually, they DM one of my friends, Taylor. They say, like, oh, you're so gorgeous, you're beautiful, blah, blah, blah. Usually, when someone compliments you, you would say, oh, thank you, and, like, all that stuff. But the thing is, we don't know who this is, and it was, like, very creepy and weird, like, how they did it. So I'm like, is this, like, a creepy old man trying to, like, holla at me? So I'm like, bye. And then I get this same DM, and then I think Zoe gets the same DM, but I'm not sure about that. I'm not 100% sure. But after that, they like post on their story, and they have like a few followers, like people from my school following them, and they post on their story, and it says, I'm a male, period 3, musical theater. So we're trying to figure this out, because Zoe, she has musical theater, so we were trying to like think of like everyone who it could possibly be. And then they post another story, and it's period 3 musical theater, period 2 PE, and period 6 history. So we thought of like all the people, and we're like, this makes no sense, because like no one has that same exact schedule that we can think of. Like, no one has that schedule, okay? So it makes no sense. So we're like, okay, this person is just putting us on a wild goose chase or whatever. So we're like talking about this because my friends, I'm like FaceTiming them, blah, blah, blah. So then Miss Puff, she, like, I didn't even say anything to her about this. So she messages me, and she's like, oh my gosh, look at this, blah, blah, blah. They can't post this and that, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, can you, like, stop for a second? Because first of all, I'm trying to like figure out who the account is, so I don't want you to like scare them away. So can you like please stop messaging them and doing all this and blah blah blah? And she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, can you stop, like, hold on, I need to read the messages. So she's like, okay. So then my friends, they like get DMs, and they're like, I'm in musical theater, and I'm I could say her name. I'm gonna ask her about this because I didn't ask, but I'm blank. I'm gonna like see if she lets me, because I'm not trying to like, you know, I'll ask her if I could put this in my video. And then we're like, wait, what the heck? And then they like also posted on their story, and they're like, what the heck? Like, it's so weird. Okay, so basically the account, they say I'm this person, and then I'm like, I don't even know this girl. Like, why would she dedicate a whole fan page to me? And I don't even know this girl, honestly. Like, I've seen her around school, but like I'm not friends with her. I don't really know her all like that. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. And I don't like think it's her, because they have like a picture of her, but it looks like they screenshotted it like from another account or whatever. So I'm like, that's weird. So I get a DM from this girl, and she's like, oh, that account lied. I didn't make a fan page about you, blah, 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 and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay. So first of all, this person, they like lied about the schedule to like put us on the wild goose chase, and then they like frame a person falsely to like trick us into thinking it's someone else. So I'm like, okay, this is very weird. So, Miss Puff, she's like, oh my gosh, it's blah blah blah. And I'm like, no, it's not. And she's like, it's not. I'm like, no. And she's like, who is it? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, so I say someone framed her. She told me she didn't yesterday. Oh, this was like the day after this, because she like messaged me and she's like, who? And she's like, blank. I'm not gonna say her name because I need to ask her if she wants me to. And basically, oh, on Friday she like, yeah, on Friday or something. I'm not sure, like the dates are a little bit off, but I was at the actor treat, or wait, on Tuesday it says at 3:22 p.m. she like sent tea to me, and I'm like, what tea? And that's like at 4:47, and then later at 7:03 I'm like, girl, what tea? And she's like, someone lying about the account, because on Friday the after treat, like after I spilled the tea to one of my friends and she was like helping me figure this out. I'm not gonna like say her name because I don't think she would like want me to expose her, because like I'm not really exposed, but I like spilled the tea to her and she's like, okay, that's like really weird. So I send this message to her. I'm like, wait, hold on. Okay, so I sent this. I said, I think someone made it look like she did it, but she DM'd me yesterday. And then I said, unless someone who I asked lied to me about making the account. I don't know. Oof. So I sent that, and then I sent her the link to my video. I don't know why, but then she's like, tea, and I'm like, what tea? And I'm like, girl, what tea? Again. And she says someone lying about the account. So this next thing, this is like where it all went down, basically. So I don't know, this is Tuesday. I think the dates are weird. Oh, so she didn't respond for like a day. So then Wednesday she responded. I don't know why, but like Wednesday's like her favorite day to like respond. So I'm like, oh, I figured it out already, because she said like, who is it or something like that. She was like, T. So I'm like, oh, I figured it out already. So then the next day she's like, who is it, with like 2 exclamation points. And then I said a kid from blank. This is like our rival school, if you want to say. I don't know anyone from the school personally, except for like people from my school who like switched to that school. So I don't know anyone from that school. So I just said that so I can trick her, basically. And then yeah, she said that in the morning, and then after school, I'm like, I need to take that out. And then, okay, this is gonna be so long to edit. I have no idea how much footage I have. But then she's like, never mind. And she says like, really? I'm like, yeah. And this is like while I'm in the car with Zoe. She's like driving me home. Well, her sister is. And I'm like, yeah. And then she says, who? And I say, that's kind of not your business. And then she says, rude, ... And the thing that's like very suspicious, now that I look back at this, she's like, really? Because I'm like, oh, I figured it out already. And she's like, who is it? And I'm like, that's kind of not your business. And she's like, rude. And I said, okay. When I said, it's not my fault, you can't mind your own business. Then she says, you involved me in it and ask if it was me, so it kind of is my business. Basically, she's saying she's involved in this drama because I asked her, did she make the account? Did I ask you to like help me with this? Did I say, can you help me solve who this is? No, sweetie. Just because I asked you a question doesn't mean you have to involve yourself in this drama. Okay? You can go somewhere. Because I didn't want this to be like super big, because she's the type of person who like knows something and she'll try to like spread it around school, and like she'll post stuff on her story and be like, oh my gosh, blah 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 blah. And like she was trying to like have me do that. She's like, oh, post something on your story about this situation. I'm like, sis, I'm not doing all that because it's no one else's business. It's not that deep. No one really needs to know about it because it's just some troll making a weird account about me, okay? So basically, after she called me rude, I like went off at this point because I was just so done with this. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with you? Like, I only asked, did you make the account? So she thinks like I'm including her in this. Like, no. It's just a question. I don't need you trying to pick apart pieces and like do all that. Like, I get she wants to help, but I already told her to like stop, and she didn't. So basically I kind of went off. Like,